Hello and welcome. I would like to introduce you to my friend Sandy Pond, who is the founder and owner of Candy Pan. And first, Sandy, we're going to have you introduce yourself and tell us the story of how did Candy Pan get started?
Okay, so yes, I'm the owner and creator of the Candy Pan. Um, I'm trying to think back how many years it was that that the idea just like popped into my head, but it's been at least 10. I was I'm a third generation candy maker, and every Christmas time, my family gets together and we make an insane amount of chocolates. And we don't even sell them, but we've been offered many times to start a business. Like we've had businessmen come and be like, "Hey, you should start a business and I'll fund it." And we're like, "No." It wouldn't be fun if we did that. But anyways, so I'm cutting up a pan of toffee with my mom, and it the pan is really large. It's bigger than like a cookie sheet, and there's two different knives that you have to use to cut each direction, and you have to have two people so you can line the knife up properly to cut it. And the whole time I'm doing this with my mom, I'm thinking there's got to be a better way. This is insane. And what if this pan was square? So you only needed one knife and a lot smaller for like a normal person making candy, not our crazy family. And, anyways, through all of that, the candy pan was created. I told my idea to my husband. He had connections in the manufacturing world. He procured a piece of aluminum and he bent it himself and hacksawed little cuts into the side and brought it home. And it's the ugliest thing you've ever seen, but it was a prototype, right? We tried it out. It worked amazing. So then we went and, had it more professionally made with stainless steel, and we used it in our family for years.
Mhm.
Just we had a few made, and we would pull it out and found that it not only works for toffee, but for caramel, for marshmallows, for truffles. It wasn't even for until a few years later that we that we realized you can bake in it. You can make brownies and cookie bars and all these things. But um, it was about 5 years ago when I met another person that makes candy like I do, like crazy amounts of candy. I'm like, oh my gosh, you need this pan. And I let her borrow it. And she was like, I need five of them. So I was like, hey, maybe we should turn this into a business. And well, here we are.
That's wonderful. And then, like you said, it came from necessity. You were thinking, I've got to find a better way. And I think you're the kind of person that's very creative and has these ideas, and you can create something from these ideas. And then you started to build what we would call a hobby business. You're like, okay, let me see if I can make this work. And I'm sure it was a lot of work being
Oh,
up.
it was.
Yeah. You taught a lot of classes, didn't you, to try to sell the pan?
Yeah, I taught classes well, and it also wasn't just about the pan for teaching the classes. I feel like candy making is a bit of a lost art. Like unless your grandma made candy, you probably don't know
Yeah.
how. And there is some science involved. It's not the easiest thing to do. Is not like just following a recipe for maybe cookies or something.
Mhm.
I do want to say it's not hard to do. You just need to know the little tricks, but
Yes.
that's
And you
that's
need
what I
to have
teach.
patience. I'm sure you have to have
Patient. Oh
patience.
my
Yes.
gosh. Yeah, absolutely. So it also became kind of this desire to teach other people how to make candy like my grandma taught me. So it's kind of a twofold thing of bring back candy making, and here's a cool tool to help you do it well.
Awesome.
So
So tell me, you started to grow, and then last year you kind of got to a point where we were like, okay, if we're going to go to the next level, we need to bring Rick over from his full-time job and help you in the business, right?
right. So we had started to go to like shows like pinners, and have a booth and be doing sales and everything like that. And it got to the point where I was like, okay, I can't do this by myself anymore. And if we really want to, grow the business, I need help.
Mhm.
And my husband, he of course has been helping like the whole time, but he had a full-time job. So for him to be able to take time off of work to come and help me at a show, that was getting complicated. So we finally just took the leap and made the decision. He quit his job and jumped into Candy Pan full time, and here we go.
Yep. You know what? Sometimes that makes all the difference. You really you do take that leap. You're saying, "Okay, I'm all in and we're going to put our family's financial future on the line because I believe it, you know?" And that sort of gives you I think an extra push. Like it's like
Mhm.
sink or swim, right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we're choosing to swim.
Yep, good for you. Well, and I know since then, like some new direction has opened up for you, some opportunities, right?
Right. So, we've had our website forever and we obviously go to shows, so we're doing a lot of retail sales, but we finally got to the point where we were able to start looking at wholesale possibilities, getting enough inventory to make that possible and getting our packaging just right and, creating relationships with people where we're able to get into a few stores and we've got more in the works. And
Yeah.
that's just a whole nother a
That's
whole nother thing in business.
yes,
Like
yes.
it's so different than
Mhm.
retail.
It is.
Um,
It
yeah, but
is.
it's awesome. Like you
Yeah.
move products so much faster and you can
Mhm.
get it into the hands of people because all these businesses, they have their own relationships
Mhm.
with people. So it's pretty
That's beautiful.
exciting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a different level, like you said. I think you're moving into a more business to business environment in that way.
Mhm.
Um, but it's certainly nice to sell 100 pans to one store instead of one pan to 100 people,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, and I'm excited for you because I know this excites you.
Yeah.
This was something that was making you pretty excited. So
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. And
Wonderful.
we're also working on a recipe book this year, which I'm really excited about. We've had a lot of interest, a lot of people saying, well, how do you use this pan, and do you have recipes that go in it? And I do have a handful that I use for the candy making already, but we're putting together a cookbook that has everything, like all the savory things, all the sweet things, healthy versions of things. Like it's going to be pretty
Uh-huh.
awesome.
No, and I think that's wonderful because it's just taking your product and building ancillary products that go along and help you to increase sales
Yeah,
uh, of both the candy pan and your recipe book. So
yeah,
I'm so excited, and I remember when you told me that you were going to produce that. I remember how excited you were.
yeah.
So,
I love creating things, and that's perfect because I can create a new recipe for each page,
uh,
The creating never ends.
no, that is fantastic because, like I said, that would not be something that I would be able to do at all. So
Yeah.
it's probably fun in business when you enjoy what you do.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't
okay,
do it any other way.
awesome. Well, congratulations. I know that once you start going into the wholesale market, you eventually want to expand into other markets in other countries, which I think is phenomenal. And so many people need your product.
Yeah, we've got a lot of interest from crazy places like Australia. Like, I don't know how they found us, but they love us. And a little bit of the UK and Canada. Like
Mhm.
it's gonna be fun to figure out how to get there.
Yep. And I think you'll do it. So awesome. Thanks, Sandy. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.